So Lee, welcome back to St Andrews at Knighthead Park. How are we doing?
Really good, thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me back.
Nice to be back at the stadium.
Definitely, yeah. Obviously, the club's changed a hell of a lot since I was here. But I'm obviously up to date with how quick the club's progressing. So, yeah, it's always good to come back.
I suppose for a local boy as well, born and bred in the area,
Yeah.
and getting to play for the club, manage the club eventually, but over 500 appearances,
Yeah.
top 2 divisions, Republic of Ireland, success with them, European champion
Yeah.
now as well.
Yeah.
You're sitting in your England tracksuit,
Yeah.
but that does make you smile, doesn't it?
Definitely, I think I remember growing up. All of my family are Blues fans. Going past the Blues ground on the 17 into town. First game I ever come to was a Birmingham City game. So it's if you'd have said that to my younger self in Sheldon, in them early days, I've gone above and beyond my expectations. I've been really lucky to always have coaches and people around me that showed a lot of belief in me, always pushed me, always give me the opportunity. Like you say, I think joining Birmingham, I think I maybe been 33 at the time, just left Everton. I really wanted to finish my career, in the Midlands and playing for Birmingham to get that opportunity I think Birmingham had just been relegated, to get them back into the Premier League and have a really good season in the Premier League
So that's your first season to get promoted, which I was lucky enough to do exactly the same. It's a wonderful place, this, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, it was, to get relegated, you're coming into a club that's obviously not a lot of confidence about, but there was definitely a feeling that, especially when I joined myself, Kev Phillips, we had some good players that the board managed to keep the squad predominantly from the Premier League that have been relegated, keep them together, invested in the team. And there's definitely a different feeling when you're playing for people that you're from the area. I think you definitely feel it more.
Did that cause a problem with tickets?
It was okay. I was quite lucky at that box over there. So the family were well looked after, and they'd spent so much time travelling up and down the M6, whether that be at Blackburn or at Everton. So it was good to finish off in local and for them to be really part of it, to come watch all the games. And like I say, they're all big Blues fans. So it was a unique little part of my career.
And virtually straight into the coaching side of it. I know there's little spells at Coventry and Brentford, but tell us how the caretaker or interim manager came up at Birmingham.
Yeah, so I left Man City. I was doing the under-18s at Man City and had the opportunity to come and coach the under-21s at Birmingham, which was a really good opportunity. I love development football, and to develop homegrown players from your own area was a massive pull for me. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that I spent too long in that area because Harry Redknapp was relieved of his duties, and I was asked to take over the senior team, which was a surreal feeling because you've always been in and around Birmingham for the majority of your life, but to stand in that dugout then, knowing that you're in charge of the senior team. I'd had that experience before at Coventry. And I'd had it at Brentford, but like I say, that there's definitely a responsibility that's different for managing your
No pressure because it's your
definitely
club.
100%, yeah. And I think because there's so much interest in Birmingham, you don't have that switch off when you go home because everyone's interested in how Birmingham are doing and what's the team going to be and why do you keep playing him, or what's your team selection. So yeah, there's a much more invested interest from everyone else, and you feel that responsibility. And I think I had 3 games, won 1, drew 1, lost 1. So yeah, it was a good period. I really enjoyed it.
And then from there, you go on to the England setup and become a development coach.
Yeah, so I was still, while I was at Birmingham in international breaks, I'd still go away and coach on a part-time basis, be under-19s, I think it was at the time, and moving then on to the under-21s. So I was already in the FA pathway in terms of managing and coaching them younger age groups, and then the opportunity to come up to go full-time with the FA and to work with that level of player. You could see as well, obviously Gary Monk come in as well with his staff, and that he took the club in a different direction. So it was an opportunity for me to, spread my wings, so to speak, and try something different.
People, when you talk about going into that FA and the pathway there, they would say there's less pressure than a first team manager's job, but there's not. It's not like that, is it?
No, I mean, it's, we're expected to win every game. Like, there's no such thing as a friendly. Literally, you're expected to win. You're expected to create a culture and environment in 2 or 3 days with players from potentially 17, 18, 19 different clubs, all with different tactics, with all different game plans, all different abilities, and you have to mould them into a team in 2 or 3 days and win, and then do the same again, and then potentially win again, because the idea is that the pathway teams get to the finals of all the competitions that they enter, and create players that are capable of winning at senior level. So there's definitely a different kind of pressure. It's not easier or harder than club football. I think but it's different. It's definitely different. I think when you're able to work with players day in, day out, you get a much better understanding of them personality-wise, what they're like on and off the pitch.
And you have worked and are working with a couple of Birmingham players at the moment. Obviously, Jay last season and James Beadle now. How do you find that? Do they get an extra cup of tea because they're Blues players, or?
No, they're definitely. Obviously, you always have an affinity to players that play for your hometown club, similar to the Everton players or Blackburn or Coventry, or any teams that you've been at. You want them to do well, but like you get a good relationship with all the players that you work with. You see them for their age as well, so they need help, they need support, they need to be challenged at times. The two players that you talk about there with Jay and James, both first and foremost are good people. I mean, you'd have met them; they're great lads. And Jay played such an important part of the way that we performed in the summer. He was patient enough to wait for his opportunity and then get his chance. And it was great to see him, holding the trophy as a European champion, and come back to Birmingham, having been promoted now to the Championship, and to be such an important part of what you're doing. James is in a different situation. James has had to be patient and wait for his chance at Birmingham, which a lot of young players have to do. But both of them have got outstanding ability. They've got such potential as well, and you know yourself as a player, you just need time, you just need chance then to play in good periods and bad periods. You need that trust, and they're both more than capable of competing.
So if we're being Birmingham City specific, you've worked with arguably two of its best players in Jude and Jobe.
Yeah.
You've played against their dad on a Sunday morning. I know you have,
right,
because I've played with him.
Yeah.
But it's the local area.
Yeah.
Tell us about what it's like working with Jude initially.
Yeah. So obviously when I was doing the 21s, I was always aware of the two lads that were in the younger age groups, a lot younger at that point, and it's been great to watch them progress. Not only on the pitch but off the pitch. They're both great people, great lads. Absolutely love football. Obviously Jobe's captain at the minute for the under 21s, and he's taken on that responsibility. Obviously moving to a different club as well. We had he would have been part of our European campaign in the summer, but obviously he moved to Dortmund to play in the Club World Cup. So, but no, both players are outstanding players, and different in their own right in terms of the way that they play. And we're very lucky to have the pair of them. And obviously, I know how much they love the Blues still, and how important the club is to them. So, yeah, we're very lucky to coach them.
And you'd have worked with Jude through the younger age groups as well as he's developing it.
Yeah, I didn't really have that much contact with. I think I maybe had one camp with him with the under 21s, and obviously he's accelerated through so quickly. And I was lucky then for the stint that I had with the senior team for him to coach him, which is a privilege along with the rest of the players. But to be in a position where that you're coaching players of that calibre, you're definitely lucky with that.
And the academy system now with the EPPP coming in and Cat 1 clubs, which Knighthead have put huge investment into this football club to get it Cat 1. Do you think that's rolling along nicely and improving things and making it easier?
Yeah, I mean we obviously get the best of that, because the level of players that are coming through, and not only the level but the amount of players that are coming through. We see that firsthand. There's some outstanding talents, and so the amount of contact time now that the clubs are able to get with the players is really, we've seen the benefit of that. The facilities as well. I mean, look, going up to Hostels a couple of weeks back and looking at the Epic, the training facilities there, like some of the academies now have got some outstanding facilities, and but like, removing all of that, they all need the opportunity now. They all need a chance to play, and sometimes that's the most difficult hurdle to get over.
I think it's almost gone a little cycle. It's when we were coming through and playing in first teams when we were 18, 19.
Yeah,
it was the
remember you're a lot older than me. Are
a little bit older, Lee. Come on. It's almost maybe 4 or 5 years ago. You could be 21, 22 and not play the first team game.
Yeah.
Which would make your role even more difficult.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it is. We're getting back to younger debuts and then staying in the thing, aren't we?
Well, I think that's due to the level of the players that are coming through. I think I was lucky to watch Wayne come through at Everton, and to be as outstanding as he was at 15 and 16. There was no way he was going to wait until he was 19, 20. So sometimes you just do get talent that's just ready. I think obviously they have to be technically ready or physically ready, but what I've noticed is this next generation of player that are coming through seem to be really mentally ready to handle massive success, but also the lows as well. They seem to be able to keep quite a level mentality, which is obviously goes to the amount of support that's put around them as well. So yeah, we get the benefits of that.
So we've talked about your playing days, your coaching days, what's happening now. How do you switch off?
I probably don't, to be honest. Probably don't. Obviously, I'll try and me and you have the odd game of golf every now and then. So, but it's pretty much full on. I think
we're going to talk about the golf, or
I don't think we should start. I don't think we should. No, it's definitely. I think there's. I think one of the big differences between day-to-day club football and international football is there's a natural cadence that when we do get an international window, club managers and players tend to, if they're not international, tend to get that bit of downtime, where that's our time that we get going. So so trying to find that balance is always the $1 million question, isn't it? So, but it's something that I'm used to. I really enjoy the job. It's a privileged role that I'm in. So yeah, I'll worry about the balance maybe in a few years.
I suppose the young players that are signing for Birmingham City's academy now will be looking at the sports quarter and where they could play, and instead of thinking about playing here, they're thinking about playing a stadium double the size.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you feel the positivity around the club, and the ambition that the club's got. And there's no reason why can't the club try and play in the Champions League, get into the Premier League and challenge for them European positions, because we were Birmingham City is a massive club in a massive city, so why not?
And it's the 150th anniversary.
Yeah.
So you look back during that time. Obviously, I was born for more of it than you were. Get that. But when you look back on everything that's happened, and the good times and the bad times that this club's had, what's your first thoughts when you look back on your time with Birmingham?
Yeah, I think the first shirt that I can remember is maybe the Mark 1 shirt. So I remember that shirt, the Patrick kit as well. I remember that. My mum brought me down here for an FA Cup game against Notts Forest. I don't know what year it was, and just being blown away by the crowd and the noise. And I'm sure you remember your first ever football game. Just being, I couldn't believe how quick it was, and just the noise. So yeah, the fact that the club's got such a steep history, and I think you can have different experiences, both good and bad. But I think the fan base has always been loyal and always stuck with the club, and it's great now that they're getting their rewards.
Well, we wish you good luck with that, and really appreciate you fitting us into your busy schedule. Thanks,
no problem. Thanks, mate.